मैं ये भी कौम से अपील करूंगा कि हम चाय की एक एक प्याली, दो दो प्यालियां कम कर दें, क्योंकि जो चाय हम इंपोर्ट करते हैं वो भी हम उधार लेकर इंपोर्ट करते हैं।
Pakistan has been undermining democratic structures, crushing dissent from the start. Problems began from the time of Jinnah. After independence, he declared himself as the Governor-General or Supreme Leader of Pakistan. No elections were held then. And then Supreme Leader Jinnah jailed the political opposition in Balochistan, in the northwest frontier province, shot them, and violated innumerable human rights. The thought at that time was that we are crushing people in one corner of the country. What's the big deal? Let it be. It won't make any difference in the long run. With one leader, one nation, one language, one nation, one culture policy. The attempt to suppress diversity was made in East and West Pakistan. If we give you the best example of this, Jinnah went to East Pakistan just once in his entire career. He said that Pakistan's national language will be Urdu only. Bengali will not be given equal status. People protested against this in East Pakistan. Police had to intervene after Jinnah's death in 1948. On 23rd of February 1952, police shot students in Dhaka University. If you try to suppress people's culture, it will only lead to bad results in the long term. But no one in Pakistan was able to understand this. In 1960s, Pakistan did see an economic miracle. But people in Pakistan were critical of this growth, because there were contradictions in this model. Growth and development was concentrated in a few regions. Economic inequality was rampant. Growth was in Karachi and Pakistan Punjab. No debate. But in Balochistan, East Pakistan, there was a state of chaos. Growth was mostly due to regional inequality and income inequality. Yes, fancy cars and imported cars were in use in Karachi, but growth was on the paper, not visible on the ground level. That's why protests and strikes were common. On April 21, 1968, Dr. Mahbubul Haq was the chief economist of Pakistan Planning Commission. He presented some shocking statistics. According to his calculations, Pakistan's 22 richest families controlled 66% of the industry, and the same 22 families controlled 87% of the banking and insurance industry. American financial institutions were working with Pakistan elite. They were in bed with them. They didn't have any problem with these numbers. Okay, in the beginning, capitalist development is uneven, but in the end, people benefit from all this. Money flows from top to bottom. We have been studying this theory in school. Since childhood. It is called trickle-down effect in economic theory, but never seen, because the rich people first fill their stomachs, drink all the water, then close the tap. Because the rich people first fill their stomachs, drink all the water, then close the tap. And if such a growth had happened in Pakistan, then maybe American aid would not have been needed for so many years. It could have happened that Pakistan would have developed despite disparity, but problem of fundamentalism destroyed Pakistan. The downturn started after 1965 when Pakistan tried to take Kashmir from India and was unsuccessful. After this defeat, the political control of the army was under question. When will elections be conducted? Because how long will you not give general elections? How long will you keep shouting that you are in danger? While India has been holding elections since 1952, protests against income inequality also started. In West Pakistan, under the leadership of People's Party of Pakistan, and in East Pakistan, under the leadership of Awami League and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, all these protests were taking place. Along with inclusive development, Mujibur Rahman and Awami League had one more big demand: one nation, one language, and one nation, one leader policy should be abolished. East Pakistan should have its own rights and wanted to implement its own economic model. They rejected one nation, one model, dictator is dictator. They listened to no one. Ayub Khan knew how to increase GDP of few but did not know inclusive growth. This is the biggest difference between India and Pakistan. Pakistan never had an inclusive democratic space, not even today. Ayub Khan put Mujibur Rahman in jail in 1967. West Pakistan was also facing income inequality. It led to strikes and protests. Ayub Khan announced the elections under pressure. Balochistan is being cracked down on March. Political opposition is being jailed. Army is in control. Inflation rates are getting out of control. IMF is demanding bailout. The trade deficit is so bad that the Federal Minister for Planning and Development has even asked to reduce tea consumption because the country is importing tea leaves on credit. If Pakistan had adopted an inclusive model in the 1960s, then the result would have been different. The decay started in the 1970s. The impact of that is seen after many decades. If Pakistan had adopted an inclusive model in the 1960s, then the result would have been different. The decay started in the 1970s. The impact of that is seen after many decades. There is only one culprit in the story of Pakistan: ego, selfishness, and loss of iman. The wise are those who learn from others' mistakes. We need to be aware of this mistakes mentality. And we should not fall for the liberal ideology. We learned that this has happened due to lack of knowledge, taqwa, tawheed in leaders. Islam and its fundamentals has nothing to do with this.